Hey y'all, welcome back to the channel. Can we talk with Monique? I am Monique. Thank you so much for joining me. And Dre, I'm getting ready to say it again. I'm gonna rub this in. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. All right, y'all. So take a look at this picture and take a look. Tell me which video this comes from phone calls from prison. Please go on over to her channel and describe. But what video does this come from? Now we know that Ernesto has these Ernesto-isms, and he kind of messes up, some of the vernacular, and some of the, slang terms and different things of that nature. And so he says things that are really funny. And like I said, again, this is a serious situation, but this is my way. Sometimes I just crack up because, like I said, without the captions, I wouldn't know what they were talking about. Sometimes they're speaking in code. Sometimes they, what happened to Pig Latin? Remember Pig Latin was a type of thing back in the day, or am I aging myself? But anyway, so anyway, this picture, look at it. What was the saying that Ernesto got messed up again? So I'm going to take you to the video, y'all, and we're going to play it and see if y'all can remember before we play the video. And here, all right.
Move on and forgive. A lot of shit can't. Okay, and I got that part. You see what I'm saying? So, to me, I'm a man. I'm going to stand up 10 toes tall.
There it is. He said, for me, I'm a man, and I'm going to stand up 10 toes tall. So that's where that picture comes from, y'all. Let's put it back up here on the screen. These are his 10 toes tall. Instead of 10 toes down, here's the measurer. We are 10 toes tall, Ernesto. All right, y'all? 10 toes tall. Let's look at this little video here. Oh, and we're going to watch it. And this is just for a little bit of humor. Let's play it one more time. Play it one more time. I'm standing up 10 toes tall. I'm standing up 10 toes tall. And I'm standing up 10 toes tall. Okay? So, yeah, I don't know. Maybe the young lady that's his coach or, his counterpart can send him a book or something to assist him with the correct way to use the terminology. But he said 10 toes tall, but it's really 10 toes down. So y'all, I hope you guys are enjoying just my take on some of this stuff. Again, it's a very, very serious situation, but it's just, again, the way he uses certain phrases and things of that nature. But I would like to say something, and I just want to say it quickly, and I'll address it in another video. This is a very serious situation. And again, I'm not a therapist, although I've seen one. I'm not a psychiatrist or a psychologist, but we need to take this story, this situation very carefully. And those people who are involved, they need to take this very seriously. I do believe, in my personal opinion, that a lot of people are listening. I believe a lot of people are watching. I believe that there's, and rightfully so, I believe people are watching this story and seeing how it's panning out. And I believe that there are a lot of eyes and ears on this story. I believe that law enforcement has been sitting back watching, and I believe that they've been waiting and listening to, not only the YouTube bloggers, but, listening to the phone calls and following up on leads, because there's been a lot of people talking. And as you can see from this picture, everybody is listening to this. So I not only believe the law enforcement, I believe the judges watch this stuff. I believe maybe even the federales, they call it Popo, 5-0. I don't know what the other names, but I believe they're watching and they're listening. And I believe maybe they took a long time maybe to indict. This is just my opinion. I don't know. Is it because they needed to get some forensic evidence to indict? And sometimes it does take a long time for that information to come back. But for those people who are alleged victims, and specifically to Shirley, if she listens to this, Shirley, it is my opinion that, and all jokes aside, because we can laugh all day, it is my opinion that there are parties in this situation that are not emotionally well or stable. And I believe I've noted certain, just my own, observation. I've not, like I said, I'm not a therapist or a psychiatrist or psychologist, but I'm noting some tendencies that are very, very disturbing. And I'm hoping that law enforcement notices this, and those people who are alleged victims, I believe they need to have, be watched, or, they need to take more precaution if there's not any surveillance on them already. And specifically Shirley Strawberry, I personally believe she needs to move. She needs to get another vehicle. She needs to cut off all ties. And this is just my opinion, because I think this is going to get really ugly. And there are some people who are exhibiting very obsessive, compulsive, stalkish type behaviors. And I believe that there's just some emotional instability in certain individuals. And I think that she needs to take precaution. Do not take this for granted. I think there's some bizarre, abnormal behavior being exhibited. And I think she needs to heed that. Her daughter, the grandkids, I really do think, because there are people that know where she lives, right? There were people who helped her move there. And it's been reported back to other parties. So it's my belief that these things should be taken very seriously. Any abnormal threats, any untoward verbiage to a person, I think it needs to be taken seriously. Move. There are people who will stalk you and you don't even understand or even know it. And so because her whereabouts, I've heard things on the calls recently about checking up to see where certain individuals work. This is the behavior of certain parties, and it's just not normal. And I believe, a word to the wise is sufficient. I believe wholeheartedly that wherever Shirley moved to, I know she took a minute to try to get an apartment or a place to stay. You need to move. The car, they know what kind of car you drive. Trust and believe. You need to move and kind of change up your whereabouts, because there's some people who have nothing else to do but to stalk you. Okay. And in their mind, who knows what's going on in their mind, but I have heard, listened, and I've listened to some of these phone calls, and I said, this is not normal. This is not normal behavior. This is a disturbance. This is a pathology here. And I think the law enforcement should take that very seriously too. Any what appears to be threats, or any, threats that may come out that in a joking way, they need to be taken seriously. And those parties that those particular threats may have been to, it needs to be taken seriously, because some people don't think or not able to have normal thought process. And I'm trying to be politically correct here, but some people are just not in their right mind. And if you're not able to, people think this is all for kicks and giggles, but I do this more for educational purposes, to learn about the behaviors of these individuals. So immediately when you see them, you don't engage with them, you go no contact, and you never get to the point where you're in a marriage with somebody and going through things. This is, Shirley's story is not, and she's not, in my opinion, totally free from, saying that she just didn't know. She has her own issues herself. It's my belief, you know. But there are many people in this world who are going through situations and they are totally caught off guard and had no idea because they were tricked. They were deceived. You know, they were love bombed. They were tricked. And that's really what it is. And so, you know, I don't know the whole situation with this whole scenario, but in and of itself, it can become very dangerous. And there's some parties that I just believe are not dealing with a full deck of playing cards. And I think those people involved should lay low. You should, you know, be licensed to carry. But I think Shirley specifically, I think she needs to move because your whereabouts, where you live, where you were staying, you need to be in a secure building. Trade in that car, get another one, change up your routine. If you see anybody following you, keep making your rights, and your lefts. And if people are following you, you'll know. So you have to be, as long as this is going on, and if I was involved in a case like this, I would be cautious as to how I moved. Okay. And so, yeah. And I am standing 10 toes down, Ernesto, on what I just said. So y'all, yeah, the euphemisms, the cray, and I had to come in and just be a little serious because we laugh and joke, but this is a serious situation. I would be taking precaution. I know because some people get desperate. People do get desperate. And some people, again, are not, you know, dealing with their right. They're emotionally unstable. And if there's any law enforcement that are listening, I think they're just letting this play out. I think they did this purposely. I truly believe they did. After these phone calls came out and it got out on the internet and people were doing their breakdowns, I believe they said, okay, we're going to watch and listen. And sure enough, I think they were able to get information that they may not have had from people talking, even when they was trying to talk in their code, and then just certain people running their mouth and giving stuff away. For instance, anyway, just people just running their mouth and giving stuff away, especially when they know, they complain that their rights have been violated because these calls have come out and they know that people are listening and these calls are recorded, but yet they still talk. And it makes absolutely no sense. And you know, for me, it's the audacity. It's like the balls of some people to talk about character. Like we all have flaws. Nobody is perfect. I'm not perfect. So nobody is perfect, right? But for somebody to want to investigate somebody for their character, it's like the pot calling the kettle black. And I don't know if that is politically correct to say, but I just said it. Like, character? Are you kidding me? So this just lets me know the delusion. You know, the Bible talks about people giving over to a strong delusion. Some people are just in their own reality and they've been given over. And the Bible does speak about a reprobate mind. I do have grace and I do have mercy because I've been shown grace and mercy. But there comes a point where all of that goes out the window. You reap what you sow. You know what I'm saying? And I don't reap some things that I've sowed. But it comes a point where some people have truly been given over to their own strong delusion and they live in their own reality. And I guess maybe that's why some of them mesh together really, really well, because some of them are just more alike than what they know. But it's really dangerous. If you have two narcissists, they are going to, because they have the same personality traits, they're going to devour one another because they both will get revenge. One person thinks they're using the other one thinks they're using the other, but the other one in the back of their mind is still mad. So they're going to do whatever to isolate this person and, you know, act like they don't know what they're doing, but they're digging a hole for that person because they, you know, have a narcissistic injury. You don't know that you injured them, but, you know, but when two of them get together, it is going to be fireworks. And that's why I sit and I watch and I listen, because you can really learn a lot from some of these stories. I think this is an educational process. Unfortunately, somebody is in prison, but you can look at the behaviors and you can also learn from all the parties. You can learn something from observing and listening to behaviors, and listening to how people speak. Some people don't take accountability. Some people can't say they're sorry. Some people are triangulate and degrade. I mean, it's a plethora of knowledge and information in these phone calls, y'all. So I thank you guys for listening. 10 toes down. All right, y'all. Please like, share, subscribe, hit that little bell, and that way you'll be notified of all my uploads. All right, y'all. Peace, and I'm out.